Hello, everybody, and welcome to the PNL show. P and L, obviously. So I'm Pierre Henry. I'm your co-host, and I have Elle here. She's also the co-host of this wonderful podcast. Hello, Elle.
Hello, everybody.
So today, I believe we would like to speak about safe space and how safe space can help us on a daily basis.
Well, how do you define safe space for you?
So I believe there are a lot of different definitions of safe space, and I believe what matters the most is your own definition, is the way you understand the best. Like there's no good or bad definition of safe space. What matters is what you believe a safe space should be and how you can use it as your own advantage. So for me, a safe space, it's an environment where I know I will not be bothered by external things. It's an environment where I can have my full attention, like I can be focused, I can be productive, and I know nothing will happen to me. No external things, so could be noises, could be people bothering me. If I obviously if I work, like if I want to 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 practice a deep work, if I want to be on my computer or to read and I'm in a mall, in a shopping center, and there are a lot of people around me, I will be aware of those people next to me, behind me, in front of me, and I will feel a little bit like, oh, there's maybe some dangers nearby. Maybe I should be careful. I should look after my bag and my belongings, my things I have, or my wallet, or my phone. Maybe someone will steal my phone. A safe space is something opposite. You don't have to worry about a pickpocket or someone who might steal your things, someone who might disturb you, such as a notification, such as someone maybe knocking at the door, or if you have a bell, you might or a buzzer, someone who rings at your door. And no, safe space is something isolated where you can be yourself, where you can have 100% of your attention in what you do. And I know there are a lot of different kind of safe space. Sometimes a safe space can be for different opinions. So that's my own safe space. I believe, Elle, you have different definitions for the different safe spaces that exist out there. Have you ever been to a safe space?
Well, I have practically made my own definition of a safe space because actually, before we going into this podcast, I read the actual definition of a safe space. But
On
first,
Wikipedia,
yes,
isn't
on
it?
Wikipedia. But yeah, the number one information source of everybody in the entire universe. So, anyways, before reading that page, I have my own definition of a safe space. My safe space for me is when I get to decompress away from the stresses of life. No expectations, nothing to achieve, pure entertainment, pure mindless activities, Like
Right.
like for me, a safe space is the bed in my apartment.
So the bed is your safe space. You feel 100% safe, and you don't have any other kind of external noises or distractions. Like 100% of your attention is where you want, because Do you mean safe space? What do you mean by safe?
Like safe space for me, mentally and emotionally as well. It's like nobody expects anything
Okay.
from me.
But
You know?
your bed, do you sleep in your bed, or do you mean when you are in your bed for doing maybe watching a movie, or could be on your computer being productive? Because in my case, well, when I sleep, it's important to feel safe, but I don't have to be in a safe space for sleeping. So you said your safe space for you is your bed,
Yes.
but for doing for working, or like, I believe sometimes usually you do some work or some
Okay.
watching some movies.
Um, I think. Why are we laughing? Why are you laughing? But anyway, no. I think I didn't explain myself well. It's just that the bed. You know, I usually like it because it's really comfortable. You know, and
Right.
especially when the temperature is right, you can be under the blanket, and then that's where I feel like there is no expectations to be met when I am there, no goals to be achieved, nobody to impress. It's like a safe space for me to decompress. Like nothing is going to happen here, but just pure nothingness. Just to be bored, to be entertained with your phone, you know, to read something, to snack on your bed. I do that all the time. I mean, it could be foreign to people who actually,
Makes sense.
yeah, who actually do things properly. Like, I mean, what is proper anyway? What is normal anyway? But for those people who actually like to eat on a table, or for me,
You snack
I
in the
snack
bed
on the bed, like you know,
because it's your safe space.
because it's like no expectations and I feel really comfortable in it. But apparently, what I read in the article, with the information that Wikipedia has given us, it's like a safe space is where people, like the minority, like we are quite aware of which groups are a minority. It's where they could express themselves on that safe space. You know, it's like you can be. This is just an example. Like, okay, this is a bad example. I just thought of a really bad example, but I'm not gonna say it. So let's just say the LGBTQ plus community. It's like
Yes.
there's a safe space for them to be themselves and to have opinions about things and to just express themselves, you know, and
Inside of the community, do you mean?
inside of the community that they have created. So there are examples of safe spaces such as school. They actually have those, but there is like a contradiction with safe spaces as well. It's like safe spaces creates a bubble for those people that are inside of it, so they don't welcome new opinions. I mean, that's just what I read. Okay, it's
So,
like it's
we are very narrow-minded about something. We create our safe space club. Like, we allow only people with the same kind of mindset, or the people who share the same opinion
or support
as
the
us,
same opinion.
support the same opinion as us, and that means we don't allow any other kind of opinions to speak to us.
Yes.
Because the safe space becomes a wall.
Yeah. And, apparently to some, a safe space is like not a place for healthy discussions, you know? It's like we couldn't exist in the same plane because you have a different opinion as I do. So let's not exist together, you know? Like, this is my space, that's your space. So it's more of like there's a positive and there's a negative in a safe space, let's just say, in what I've read. But, my opinions are a bit different because my safe space is just the bed and it's just about me.
Because for you, it's a cozy place to
It's
be.
a cozy place without expectations. That's just what I want.
No
you know?
pressure, just, you just do whatever you want there, and no one will be.
No one will judge me.
No one will judge you. You are just yourself there, cozy clothes, and just lying, which is a comfortable
Position.
position.
Yeah. I wonder why we're having a laughing fit in this podcast, but anyway, that for me is a safe space. Like,
Yeah.
but that's just me. It's just don't. I just created that thing. It doesn't matter. It could matter. I'm not sure, but then that's a safe space for me. Like especially when it's like everything is just right. Like I have.
Right.
It feels like my safe space couldn't be a safe space if I have things to do. If I lie down in my bed, that's just procrastination. But if I have no obligations outside of my safe space, then I feel like, wow, this is nice. This is a good feeling. Like I could do this every weekend if I could. And it's good for me. That's a safe space. I'm not specifically an opinionated person, sorry. I do have some opinions, but it's like I really need to do lots of research when I have an opinion about something. So for me, it's like, it's standing up for nothing, let's just say, my safe space is.
Right.
Yeah. Standing up for me, but really not standing up for anything. Being on the bed, that's it. Like, I'm not standing up for anything other than myself, which is to relax, to enjoy my time. Of course, I can't stay in my safe space 24 hours, that's just not good. Like,
It would be too much.
it will be too much. Like, like I just want to have a place to decompress, and
That's it.
in
And so
itself-
when you feel a little bit like you had a tough day, a really busy day, and when you come home in the evening, you can, like, your bed is your safe space where you can reboost yourself, where you can just decompress, like what you said, you can just slow down and feel well.
slow down, do nothing, because in the hustle bustle of society, like, wow, we have to do this, we have to do that, you have to be swimming in
There,
there.
no one will judge you, no
Nobody.
matter what you do.
No, nothing comes inside my blanket. I'm hiding in there. I'm making my own igloo. Nothing is gonna force me to say travel around the world. Be in the Baltic Sea, be a millionaire by the age of 35. Well, I can't do those things. And besides, be pretty. I don't know, but yeah, outside, I'm not trying to be a pick me girl. But I'm just saying that I'm realistic with what I can do, and sometimes, with the advent of society, social media, you feel like you're pressured into being that, but then it's not you. So it's good. Like, yeah.
And yeah, this is where the safe space comes, where you feel too much pressure from other people, from the society. In your safe space, you are yourself, no matter what.
Yeah.
It's a safe space. The name is really good.
Yeah.
For me, like I said, I use it more like for a productivity setup. So in my case, my safe space is where I know I'm not reachable. I know no one will be able to distract me. I can have some kind of deep work, and that's it. However, Elle, you mentioned to me before to read that Wikipedia article about safe space, you had already your own opinion. You knew already when I spoke to you about safe space, if you were interested for doing a podcast today, and you said, oh yes, of course, I know what is safe space. And then you had a look on the internet, on Wikipedia and so on. But before that, tell me a little bit about your own definition before. Obviously, Wikipedia is nice, but sometimes everybody has the same opinion just because of something on the internet also written by different opinions. So it's nice just to have your version before the Wikipedia fed your head with a different kind of what is headspace, wow, safe space.
Yeah, well, I also had this thing where I thought that, a safe space could be a person,
Yeah.
It's like, it's nothing about a quite, like what you've told everybody, that that it has to be really quiet. It has to be like where you could focus. For me, it's basically the bed in my home. It's about a person. It's like the moment they are there, you feel safe. Like you know how in romantic comedies or romantic films they say, "You're my safe space," and then they kiss. I don't know. They make out. I don't know.
So someone could be your safe space.
Yeah, I think so. Like, just that's my opinion. But I think
someone where you feel safe with.
Someone you feel like you could be yourself. It's like a safe space for you to express yourself, to know that you will never be judged when you try to voice out your opinion to this person. It's like a safe space too. Like I feel like you feel that with when you have a really close relationship with your mom, your dad, your sisters, your brothers, even a friend. Sometimes I feel like even strangers, because sometimes you can share your deepest secrets when you don't know the person.
I'm thinking of a psychologist, for instance. I believe they have to be a kind of a safe space person for their job.
Yeah, but not everybody, not every psychologist is going to be a safe space.
Yeah,
for sure.
But I believe that.
Yeah, for sure they
good
do.
ones.
Yeah,
should
be. Like that's what I was thinking of a safe space. Like it could be a place, it could be a person. It's like something that comforts you, something that makes you comfortable about being yourself, like, yeah, I believe that's how I understood it. I could be wrong, but
safe space could be also your hometown, or the place where you grew up when you were a kid, because sometimes when we move abroad or in a different place, we don't feel like, oh, this is my safe space anymore. For you, I believe no matter the bed will be your safe space. But I believe sometimes, especially if you live abroad and you feel a little bit homesick, your safe space will be your parents' house or back home, or your hometown where from where you are from.
Yeah, but that is like the safest place. But for sure, being human nature, like we are built to survive, like so maybe you're in abroad, maybe when you're in abroad you create your own safe space because
over
hometown
time
is far away, so
so over time
you create like a safe space for you.
Some places we like to spend our weekend there. Like I used to live in New Zealand, and in Auckland I had a safe space cafe where I felt good there. Like it wasn't busy. Usually I like to spend my time also in those kind of coffee shops like Starbucks, but it's so crowded, so busy, and it's not really a safe space for me. I just like the environment, but I wouldn't call it a safe space. But there was one cafe there, only opened on Saturday, and it wasn't open on Sunday for sure, so I couldn't go there very often. But there it was so quiet, and they had plugs. That's just a little detail, but they had like power outlets a bit everywhere. I could plug my laptop. They had high-speed internet. They had good food and good cafes. The people there, the staff, were nice too. So I felt, oh, this is a place I like to spend my afternoon there, because it's not busy. There are not a lot of people. I would sit on a booth, and behind me it will be the wall. So again, I know no one is behind me, behind my back. So I feel safer too. That's probably also, it's a human nature. If we have a lot of people behind us, sometimes we wonder, oh, maybe that person is looking at my laptop, my screen, or if there is a queue behind you, you don't really know if that person is just waiting or looking at you, what you are doing. So you don't really feel like you are in your safe space, in your bubble. But there I could really feel, wow, I'm in my safe space, I have the world behind me. They had some cushions, and it's a cozy place. And sometimes just, a establishment, a restaurant, a cafe could be a safe space, I believe.
Yeah, it could be a safe space. Like any any place could be a safe space if you you know if everything is just right for you.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah. And like you just said that the little details like the plugs, but really for me it's like little details are important too. It's like if you focus on the big details, then if that factor is gone, then you won't be happy anymore. So it's the little details that makes up into a happy, safe space.
Exactly.
Well, it's just a little detail. So if there are plugs, if they're gone, then it won't affect you that much because it's just a
But
little detail
everything,
cut out there.
nice stuff, nice, friendly stuff, good food. You like the music as well. It's like classical music. It's not, I don't know, music that is more like rap or something like this. I have nothing against rap, but in your safe space, you want to feel relaxed. And you want everything, like all of those little details, make the space a comfortable and safe space.
Yeah, I totally agree with that, to be honest.
And for you, your bed, I believe, if your bed was in the street, which I hope it will never be the case, but it's probably a bad example. But you said my safe space is my bed. But I believe still, where the bed is, it's important. If your bed is in the street, for instance, it won't be a safe space anymore. Really.
Well, it depends. It depends, to be honest, because some people are carrying their safe space in their backpack, like homeless people, and sometimes it's
still a safe space for everything they have.
Yeah.
Even the streets, probably the environment where they prefer to be is in more or less inside of their bed. Now, well, they would usually try to go to a narrow street or somewhere a little bit where they feel safer, where there are not a lot of people passing by, not with a lot of traffic, a lot of cars. But yeah, you're kind of right, actually.
Yeah.
But still, to me, although it's not the case, but if my bed was my safe space, I would still like to have my bed in a nice environment. But again, safe space, everybody has their own definition. It's really personal, a safe space. Yeah. It's something you build for yourself. It's not something that works for everybody. It's something with your own definition, by your own eyes. You have the perception of what a safe space is for you, and what is a safe space for you won't be a safe space for someone else.
Yeah, I think safe spaces are not one size fits all, let's say. Because, we're all different in the end. And even though in your safe space, you do share the same opinion, but for sure it's not gonna be a copy directly, Maybe you discover other opinions too that you might agree or disagree with, in the safe space that is there for, let's just say, minority of people. So it's good that, because sometimes a safe space is not sometimes, but I think in what I've read, it's like a safe space is where it could be a group of people, But it's funny because my safe space is by myself, which is,
Yeah, a group of people, like what you said, a community who shared the same mindset or the same philosophy.
Yeah, the same values.
The same values.
The same, like fighting for the same things. Yeah, so, it's not a one size fits all, that's for sure.
Yes. So, like what you can see, anyone can use a safe space for different purposes. In my case, I use it mostly for productivity purposes. For productivity purposes. Like, my safe space is an environment where I know no one can bother me, where I know I can be like 100% in what I do, and not even 1% of my attention is on something else. I'm just working 100% there. So that's why a safe space is really important about where I am, my setup, no distractions, no notifications, just, in a nice environment where I have all of the things that help me to do well my job. For you, Elle, a safe space would be like your bed, because you can snack, you can eat. Oh, yeah, it's the same. You can just do whatever you wish there, and you feel safe and happy, and it's an amazing place to slow down, to relax, to decompress. And for other people, it could be about sharing an opinion, fighting for the same cause, where they have the same group of people sharing the same values. So yes, it's nice to have a safe space, but again, it has to be yours, and you shouldn't look for some kind of templates. That sounds actually even crazy to say that. Some kind of templates. Oh, where I can have a safe space, I would look for some suggestions on the internet. No, if you have a safe space, it's because you need one. You shouldn't look how to have a safe space. Then if you want to look because you have no idea, it means you don't need one. It comes over time by itself. It's like, it's like your comfort food. Everybody has some kind of comfort food, like the food from home they really like, the food that when you eat that kind of food, it reminds you when you are a kid, your childhood, and so on. A safe space is something where wow, you are 100% yourself, and you feel alive, you feel good. Do you have anything else to add?
I think I did a number on safe space. So for me, that's everything. Like, find yourself safe space for sure. Yeah.
Well, so I would say that's it for the safe space conversation. I hope it will help you as well as much as it does for Elle and myself. And I wish you all the best, and just enjoy the life, enjoy your safe space, and decompress, like what Elle said.
Stay hydrated.
Oh, that's important too, indeed. Good spot.